when I was in college, my intentions were to do other things. My major was sociology. I was going to be a social worker, save the world, those kind of things. So working with children was not part of my plan. But then, as I think about this, I think about the fact that one of my first jobs was working with Head Start. So I was a Head Start teacher. And during that time, as I was a Head Start teacher, and we were specifically home-based, so therefore we were going into the homes, working with parents in their homes, helping parents to become more comfortable being their child's first teacher. So during that time, as I was working as a home-based teacher, I thought back to when I was a child. I thought back to how my parents' main focus was providing for our needs, our basic needs. They had very little time to focus on teaching us, alphabets, numbers, cutting, any of those kind of things. So as I was working with children in Head Start, realizing that there are a lot of us, there are a lot of children, though I'm not a child any longer, but there are a lot of little people whose parents are focused primarily on taking care of the basic needs. They don't have time or the energy to focus on some of those educational or cognitive kind of concepts, even the social emotional in some cases. So when I stumbled into the early childhood field, I began to realize that was where I needed to be, or I needed to be there. I stumbled into it apparently for a reason, because I have so much to give. I think I know what little people need because of what I got or did not get as a child. And during my experiences with Head Start and working with children and families and parents. And again, realizing the importance of giving children that real good sound foundation. So I chose to remain in this field because I realized I had a lot to offer. And there are a lot of children and families who are receptive to what I and the early childhood field has to offer to them. My philosophy of teaching is go where the child is, meet them where they are. In some cases, we, early childhood providers, teachers, educators in general, I think we have our own, in some cases, we have our own agenda. We know what children need versus understanding what the child really wants, where they are, understanding their learning style, understanding that children and people in general, we are more receptive to learning, to accepting new ideas if people approach us where we are. And an example is, sometimes people say that it is difficult to teach little boys some basic skills like cutting. Many little boys don't have an interest in scissors. There are some things they just much rather not do. However, if we go where they are, if they are really interested in cars, race cars, then let's give them race cars to cut. For counting, let's give them race cars and trucks, boats to count, to sort. My philosophy is approach the children where they are, go where they are, meet their needs first, and then the child will perhaps be more receptive to receiving those things that we believe they really need to learn. Quality education is important in the child's future in that things are changing, technology, the world, everything is changing. And in order for our children to be ready for the next step, whatever that is, we need to start now. We need to start preparing them. It will be, in my opinion, it will be much too late to begin to expose a child to technology, to computers when they are 10, 11, 12. I think we need to start now. There are so many things that children can learn now that we need to expose them to. And again, as I alluded to earlier, some of us, based on our background, based on who we are, where we are from, what we were exposed to previously, some of us have not had some experiences that some of our peers have had. So therefore, some of our children could be labeled at risk of failure. I probably was labeled at risk of failure because of the lack of exposure. It is important that we allow our children to experience as many things as possible now, not necessarily to catch up, to make up, but to make them more well-rounded little people, such that they will be able to make some decisions in terms of what they want to do and when they do it and how they do it. They cannot make those decisions if they've not been exposed to a variety of things. The traits that I feel are most important in staff who are going to work with children and or their families are, first of all, we need to be caring, compassionate, generous with our time, generous with our praises, slow to anger, slow to criticize, welcoming, flexible. Those are some of the things that we need. That is what you will find in virtually every child care center that you visit. You will find people who have those characteristics. And chances are they've been in that position or in that facility for quite some time, because those are the staff that we want. Those are the people that parents want to have interacting with their children every day. Those people who have those traits, those are the people that our children will respond to more readily. Those are the people that our parents will greet every morning and every afternoon when they come in. There are some people in general that we do not respond well to because we don't connect with them. But when you find a person who has the compassion, they are caring, they're generous, they're flexible, those are the people you want to be around. Those are the people that our families want sitting in these classrooms every day interacting with their children. That's what we're looking for. Those people who have a sincere concern for the well-being of our children, not just our little people, but children in general. I think they would want to consider or should consider entering into this field as a profession. First of all, because they're going to make a difference. As I alluded to earlier, there are a number of children whose families, whose parents are devoting their time and attention to providing for the basic needs of the family. And there are some of us who would like to help those families. We like to fill in that void. And in some cases, the void might be the fact that the family don't have the time to work with their children on some of the basic skills, teaching children some of the things that some of us are very comfortable doing. I think someone who would like to do that, someone who has the drive, the compassion to make a difference and believe that they have what it takes, why would they not want to be a part of what we're doing every day, especially when they see little people walking out of here every day singing that new song that they just learned, reciting the alphabet, doing some of those wonderful things that we do with them all day. When you see it, when you hear it, how can you not want to be a part of it? How can you not want to say, I helped? How can you not want to be a part of, helping to create the confidence in a little person who will perhaps one day become the president of the United States, someone who will become a doctor? How can you not want to be a part of that? It's just that simple. I try to stay current with new research and information by doing my own research online, chatting with cohorts, chatting with colleagues, attending conferences. There's QCAYC, I'm a member of that board, so we are providing training. I get to talk to other directors. There are any number of things that I do to try and remain current. Not only that, I even talk to staff. Some of my staff have gleaned some information that perhaps I'm not aware of. So I chat with staff in terms of what they know that is current, what is going on in the field. In addition, because we are seeking accreditation, so that means we are still doing a self-study. We're still looking at who we are, what we're doing, and we're looking at best practices. So we remain current by looking at best practices, reading Caring for Our Children, reading Eckers and Itters and Sackers, literally reading them. So we remain current by, just doing our research.